Hello, this is Hannah. Today I've got a very special t-shirt on for your pleasure. Hope you're instantly interested in what I've got to say. In my recent video about the Olivier Awards, I was looking back at last year in London Theatre. You can still watch that if you haven't seen it. I think I've done pretty well with the predictions there. But today I will be looking ahead. I've chosen some shows that I think you shouldn't miss if you are in London. Or if you're thinking about visiting, I think you should definitely squeeze at least one of them in your program. Of course, it is hard to say beforehand what will be the biggest hits, but these are the shows that I personally am really interested in. I am not including the long-running shows, so if you're visiting London for the first time ever, maybe you could consider seeing something like Les Mis or The Phantom of the Opera, Wicked, something like that. But if you have already seen those, or you're not interested in musicals, or just want to see something current, then listen, my friend. Number 1, People, Places and Things. This is a show that's already running. It's a transfer from the National Theatre, and if you've been watching the whole Olivier Awards thing, you know that it got a lot of attention. The main actress Denise Gough won the award, so apparently she's incredible. I've read the play and it's incredible as well. It's written by Duncan Macmillan. So if you have a chance, you should definitely try to catch that. It's now on at Wyndham's Theatre until the 18th of June. Number 2, Dr. Faustus. Written by Christopher Marlowe in a new version by somebody called Colin Tevan. This will be at the Duke of York's Theatre. The previews have already started actually, and it's running until the 25th of June. It's directed by Jamie Lloyd, who's a young-ish director who's been getting a lot of attention in the past few years. I've seen his production of The Assassins at the Menier Chocolate Factory last year, and that was brilliant. He's also the artistic director of Trafalgar Studios, and this will be radically modernized, so I'm not sure whether it will be atrocious or brilliant, but I think one of those, probably. It's supposed to be set in the modern time, and Mephistopheles will be played by Jenna Russell, who's a brilliant actress who usually appears in musicals, but not exclusively. Dr. Faustus will be played by Kit Harington, who apparently was in some sort of a series. He was in Game of Thrones, I haven't seen that. Number 3, Showboat. This is a classical musical. Actually, many people think that it's the first musical ever, like in history. It's from 1927, written by Jerome Kern and Oscar Hammerstein. And this particular production is a transfer from Sheffield, where it got very good reviews. It was directed by Daniel Evans, who has been the artistic director of Sheffield, and now he's going to Chichester. Those are both very good theatres, so I will be extremely interested to see what he's done with Showboat, which obviously being so old is not easy to do, probably. The previews have just started in New London Theatre, and it will be running until the end of 2017. Number 4, Romeo and Juliet. This is a part of the Ken Branagh season at the Carrick Theatre. It will be on from the 12th of May until the 13th of August. I think Ken Branagh and his co-director Rob Ashford have been really successful with The Winter's Stay last year. That was really lovely. I'm expecting this to be quite classical but very well acted. Richard Madden and Lily James from Branagh's film Cinderella are playing the leads. And also Derek Jacobi will be playing Mercutio, which, I mean, doesn't it sound like something you have to see? I think it does. If you won't have a chance to get to London, this one will be broadcast into many cinemas worldwide, so I recommend checking their website to see if there is a broadcast in your area. Number 5, A View from Islington North. This is an evening of political satire. Short plays written by 5 different very successful authors. Carol Churchill, David Hare, Mark Ravenhill, Alistair Beaton and Stella Freely. Don't know how to pronounce her name, sorry. I love political satire. I think it's incredible when theatre is current, so I recommend checking it out. It will be at the Arts Theatre from the 18th of May until the 2nd of July. Number 6, The Threepenny Opera at the National Theatre, written by Bertolt Brecht in a new version by Simon Stevens, directed by the National Theatre's artistic director Rufus Norris, who's great, I love him, and it will star Rory Kinnear, so I recommend getting your tickets on time. It's a musically thing and it will be in the Olivier Theatre from the 18th of May, currently booking until the end of August, not sure if it still continues after that. Number 7. Richard III at the Almeida Theatre from the 7th of June until the 6th of August. The Almeida is the best theatre in London, in my opinion. This will be directed by their artistic director Rupert Gould. So I assume it will be probably modernized in some way and quite interesting. And it will have Ralph Fiennes and Vanessa Redgrave in it. Number 8, okay, I have to mention this. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I'm not sure if any of us will get the tickets ever, really. So I won't say too much about it, but it's some sort of a spin-off thing of Harry Potter. It's based on a short story by J.K. Rowling and written by somebody else. It will be in 2 shows, so you go on 2 continuous days or a matinee and an evening show. No idea what it's gonna be like. Sounds a bit rubbish, doesn't it? But really brilliant actors have been cast as Harry, Ron and Hermione. So if somehow you manage to get a ticket, probably go. Number 9, 1984. I can safely say this is brilliant because it was already on last year and now it's coming back. It will be at the Playhouse Theatre from the 14th of June until the 3rd of September. It is a production by the Almeida, written obviously the book by George Orwell, and the adaptation is by the director Robert Icke, who's just won an Olivier as well, and Duncan Macmillan, whom I already mentioned as the author of People, Places and Things. Number 10, The Groundhog Day. This is a new musical by Tim Minchin, who wrote Matilda. I'm not a huge fan of Matilda, I have to say, but I think his songs are very, very clever. This will be at the Old Vic from the 11th of July until the 17th of September. So that's not a very long run for a musical. I recommend getting your tickets on time. And I think it's already scheduled to go on Broadway, so it's supposed to be good. Number 11 is something I am probably excited about the most, and that's the cycle Young Chekhov at the National Theatre. It is Chekhov's early plays Platonov, Ivanov and The Seagull. It got extremely good reviews last year in Chichester, and now it's coming for a very limited time to the National Theatre. It's translated by David Hare, directed by Jonathan Kent, and has a cast that sort of overlaps between the plays, so I think you can see most of the people more than once. The National are doing a few days where you can see all 3 plays in one day. I already have a ticket for that and I'm just so excited. I don't think I've done anything like that yet, really. I think that at an event like that you really experience something special, and I think it could really transcend what each play is on its own. I'm really looking forward to that. There are only 6 of those 3 show days, mostly in August, so I recommend buying a ticket instantly. Or I think you might still be able to get a day seat if you come very early. And the last show I will mention opens at the very end of August. It's The Entertainer by John Osborne. It's another part of the Ken Branagh Garrick season, and Ken Branagh himself will be playing the lead. It is a role that Laurence Olivier very famously played, and Ken Branagh sort of trying to be like Olivier. At least he played him in a film. I think it will be extremely interesting to see how he does it. I will sort of imagine that this is how it looked when Olivier did it. I don't know. Again, there will be a cinema broadcast of this, but having seen Kenneth Branagh on stage, his energy is unbelievable. I definitely recommend seeing it live in theatre. But that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know if I inspired you to go see something, or leave me tips for anything else I didn't mention. And if you liked this, I might do my recommendations for the autumn season in a few months. Bye, have a lovely day.
Hamlet wants you to subscribe.